Woo! Nice catch. Well done, me. I'm going to All Points East Festival and I really want to crochet myself a fun little slutty dress, and I'm going to bring you along for the journey. This is the yarn I'm going to be working with. I will be using this really beautiful lilac, and then this dark purple, and then this kind of like goldish green colour. I think this is a really fun and cute colour palette, and honestly the main reason why I'm using these yarns is because I'm using like mostly scrap yarn. I crocheted myself a dress in this lilac last year, like a really cute lace dress, but I want like a slutty version. I want like a slutty lacy summery dress in this lilac, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough of just the lilac to crochet the whole dress, so I think the dark purple will go really nicely, and I think this like goldy green will also go really nicely. It's just like little accented features of the dress, but the majority is going to be this lilac. So I have a kind of POA. I basically love a cowl neck. Dropped a pen. I love a cowl neck. I think they are very complimentary, and I don't mean like flattering, I mean complimentary for me in terms of how I feel in them and how hot and sexy I look. I think they're very complimentary to my body and my bust because I've got big titties, and sometimes I want to show them off but I don't want to have them out, if that makes any sense. So I feel like a cowl neck is perfect. I have this cowl neck. That's hard to say, but I have this top which I really love the fit of. I think the cowl neck is perfect. It sits perfectly and kind of gives like just enough of my boobage without it being like, you know, super low, which there's nothing wrong with. I just have a personal preference. So I'm basically basing the top off of this top of the cowl neck sort of design, but I saw this picture on Pinterest, I think, and it has this really beautiful, like essentially like a almost like a cowl back as well. I don't know what that's called in fashion terms, but it has like a open exposed back which has this like lace pattern on it, which I think is so fucking cute. So essentially what I want to do, actually let me show you my notes. I'm just going to cover it with some of my top because there are my work notes at the bottom. Not for any other reason. This is insane, by the way. This is how my brain works. Do not judge me, okay? This is just how my brain works. So I have basically drawn what I kind of want it to look like. This is the front. Is that the front? Yes. This is the front. It's going to have the cowl neck. It's going to have like thin straps, and then I'm going to have like almost like not a skater skirt, but it's going to have like a flared out skirt, and then I'm going to have like 2 splits in the middle. I mean on the sides. I don't know if I'm going to have 2 splits because the drawing is very much giving like cheerleader vibes. I don't know how I feel about it, so I'm either going to do 1 or 2 splits. I will obviously decide a little bit closer to the time. And then at the top of the cowl neck I'm going to have like a lace pattern, and then in the middle, so after kind of like my bust, it's going to be lace, and then it's going to be skirt, and then at the bottom of the skirt as well, at the bottom here, there's going to be lace. On the back is basically the exact same, but I'm going to have like a scoop back, and then this kind of lace pattern at the back as well, to kind of like, because I find sometimes with like low back stuff, they always have this like string fastening in the top, which is obviously to kind of like keep the straps on your shoulder, but I fucking hate that because I don't like things dangling and touching my skin because I get very overstimulated. So I think by adding the lace, it's going to basically like almost secure it a little bit tighter on my back, meaning that I shouldn't need the little string situation. So I'm hoping that that's kind of what will work. And so yeah, I basically, this is the chaos that's in my brain, and I've called it slutty dress. That is the official name for this dress. So that's what I want to make basically, and I'm gonna bring you along on the journey with me. Also, hello, if you don't know me, my name is Rajan, aka Not Half Bad Crochet, and if you enjoy crochet content like vlogs, day in the lives, maybe some little personal travel stuff sprinkled in, then maybe consider subscribing to my channel. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and leave me a comment to let me know what you think. Okay, so I've obviously done some like stitch samples, I guess. I obviously need some lace stitches, and I need some more solid stitches that are going to form like the bust area of the dress and like the skirt area of the dress, because as much as I want it to be slutty, like I still want to be able to wear it, and I still want to be comfortable wearing it. And like, I'm old, guys, okay? I'm 33 years old. I actually don't think 33 is that old, but like I'm sure there's some young people maybe watching this who are like 33. So I don't really like wearing things that are like that revealing anymore, and I think a slutty dress or a slutty outfit is really like how it makes you feel, and I want it to make me feel like a hot little slut. I just don't necessarily want it to be like see-through. So slut is more of a feeling rather than a literal interpretation of like what a slutty little dress is. So anyway, tangent over, I have a few stitch patterns. This one I'm gonna just show you because I mean it's cute, I'm not going to be using it, like I know I'm not going to be. So this is stitch pattern number 1. This is cute. It's kind of like almost like a shell sort of situation. You can kind of see there's like these like little arches in there. There are some front post stitches, which I am not the biggest fan of because can you see it kind of adds a little bit of texture there. It's a cute stitch. I just don't think I'll be using it for this dress. I think as well there's quite, because of the front post stitches and there's some chains in there as well, when I block it, it's just going to open up the stitch pattern a little bit too much, and I don't want it to be kind of like as airy as this. It is cute, I'm not saying it's bad, I just don't want it for this dress. So my next options are, we have option number 2, which I really love. This is another kind of like almost like very dainty and small shell stitch. It's got like a lot of single crochets, which is my only gripe about it because it's a short stitch, man, and this is a very thin yarn. It's like a 3mm hook requirement. I mean, I'm making a whole fucking dress, you know. It's really cute though. I love the texture, and then when I kind of block it out, it doesn't make it like completely see-through, which I really love, but it just feels really nice and airy. I feel like the drape is really good on this one as well, so this is an extremely strong contender for me. And then finally I have this one, which is also beautiful. I really like this one. This is another kind of shell situation. I think for the kind of body, so this is what I'm intending to do first, is that I'm working on the top part of it, like the bust area and the cowl neck area of the front. That's kind of what I'm doing these stitches for, and then the rest I will, you know, I'll address it when I need to. I think for this part of the pattern and this part of the dress, I want it to be this kind of like shell vibe. This is a little bit more obviously a shell stitch, if that kind of makes any sense. Yeah, it's really cute. It's got some like double crochets in there, so it works up a lot quicker. And yeah, I really like this. I feel like it's kind of got like almost like a spiky kind of look to it. I really like the texture on it as well. I think this is adorable. So I think at the moment I'm kind of debating between number 2 and number 3, and I was considering actually doing a combination of the two. I'm not sure when and I'm not sure how. Haven't really got that far yet in the kind of design process, but I could do both. But then I'm like, do I want to do a lot of work with single crochet? That's my only issue, because this is a fine yarn. I mean, in terms of time, I've got like a month and a half to crochet this dress. Even if I had all the time in the world, do I want to crochet something that's a single crochet thing with a really fine yarn and it's a whole fucking dress for my big titty body? I don't know, but I do really like this one. I'm not sure, I haven't decided, but I like them both. I really like them both. So yes, I don't know, okay? Don't tell me what to do. No, but I would actually need some help. Am I okay? I don't know, I haven't decided, but that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at so far. I'm really excited to make this dress. I think it's going to look so fucking cute. I think it's going to be, in terms of the construction, I think it's going to be quite simple. I think the main things is that I've never made a cowl neck. I haven't made a dress with this kind of fit before, and there's going to be like a lot of different elements to it, like the lace at the front and the lace at the back, and then the lace for the kind of waist part, the lace at the bottom. So I think I'm gonna have like be able to get a lot of variety in this dress, which is good, but I also want it to kind of look cohesive, and especially incorporating the dark purple and the kind of greeny color. I obviously need and want to incorporate that color, those colors, into the whole piece, but also making it look cohesive also. So I think maybe what I actually need to do is almost like redraw my design, but like with the colors that I am going to be putting into the actual dress. This is basically how I design stuff. So I usually will be like, I want to make a dress, and then I'm like, all right, what kind of dress do I want to make, if I don't have an idea already? Because sometimes I'm like, I know exactly what I want to make because I've maybe seen something that exists already that is that thing, or I see it in a TV show or a film, or like a, you know, a fucking anime or something. I'm like, that looks cool, I'm gonna make it, because that's very much how my brain works. This is kind of how I design stuff, and then afterwards I like go on Pinterest, I will go on like TikTok, I will go on Instagram, and I will find garments. Like, I knew that I wanted this dress to be a cowl neck, I knew that, so I searched on Pinterest like cowl neck dresses, cowl neck tops, and then I had this top that I was like, oh well, this actually fits me like pretty perfectly. I love the fit, I love where the cowl neck sits, so I'll just like replicate the top part of that from this top, or like do that as best as I can. And it's actually very simple. A cowl neck is just like a straight line, so there's actually not much to it. And then from here I just practice. I practice the different stitches that I want to do. I'll practice the lace pattern stitches that I want to do. I will then practice how to kind of attach everything and how I want it to all go together, and I'll just kind of do it bit by bit, and that's how I design stuff. It's that simple. I mean, is it that simple? I just think, honestly, and I've probably said this before, I think being autistic actually really helps me when it comes to crocheting, because I am very good at pattern recognition. And I think before I realized I was autistic, and as I was kind of learning about different autistic traits, when people were like, oh, pattern recognition, I was like, I don't think I have that, because I took it, funnily enough, I took it literally. If somebody was like, here's a sequence of numbers, like figure out what the pattern is, I'd be like, I don't fucking know, because I have dyscalculia. I'm not good with numbers. So I was always like, oh well, I don't have good pattern recognition, but I actually do. And I think having good pattern recognition, which is obviously a notorious autistic trait, and I think ADHD as well, I actually don't know, but I think having that as a skill of mine makes crocheting a lot easier for me, because I pick up stitches really easy. Like, I pick up stitch patterns really quickly because I can see it forming, and because I am able to see the pattern and I recognize the pattern forming, I'm able to actually memorize it and pick it up very fast. I also am very good at figuring out garment construction. If you give me one garment, like that's like, I don't know, a v-neck cardigan, I'm like, cool, I now know how to make a v-neck cardigan, and I can do anything in that v-neck cardigan. Random tangent over, but I think being autistic actually aids my crochet. So maybe all the autistic moms were right, and autism is a superpower. It's not, it's a disability, but whatever. Anyway, I am going to figure out what the fuck I want to do. I'm probably gonna try and redraw my drawing, and then I will figure out what stitch pattern I want to do, and then I'll be back with an update of some kind. Okay, so I did go with the short stitch. I went for the single crochet stitch, but I think it's paid off, guys. Look at that fucking texture. It looks so cool. It looks really, really good. So basically I have started doing the kind of bust area, and I've just started doing some decreases for like some armhole shaping, and I think it's looking good so far. I am going to block it, so it's going to be a little bit more kind of stretched over, but I think it's looking cute so far. That's it really. I feel like cowl necks is just really easy because you're just making like a big old square. Obviously I'm like making it harder because I'm doing armhole shaping, but like I'm really not making it harder. I'm just doing a few decreases. But yeah, I think it's looking really good so far. I'm really glad that I went with this stitch. As much as I loved the other one, there's something about this that really kind of fucking spoke to me. So yes, I obviously chose the harder stitch, and I think that that's okay. I think that that's acceptable. So I don't think I'll be doing this entire stitch throughout the whole dress, because like I said, I want to do some different stitch patterns, different lace patterns and stuff, and I will be doing like a lacy pattern kind of at the top of the cowl neck, which I think is going to look so cute. Anyway, that's what I'm doing, that's how it's going, and I am going to continue. Okay, so I think I think I might be ready to kind of add my little lace panel that I want to do at the top, because so I obviously kind of split off to do some decreases for like some armhole shaping, and I've measured it against my cow print top, and because I'm gonna be blocking this, and obviously it's cotton, so it's not gonna stretch out a huge amount, and this stitch is relatively stretchy. I wouldn't say it's like particularly stiff. I think it's gonna block really nicely. I feel like I missed a stitch. Am I going crazy? Like here, I feel like I missed a stitch. I feel like there's like a hole there. That's gonna be really annoying. Hopefully I can rectify that. But I think I'm ready to do my like lace bit. Excuse me, my rabbit's being annoying. He's obsessed with feet, guys. I don't know if you have a rabbit, are they also obsessed with your feet? Like he loves like cuddles, right? And he'll come and snuggle with us, but maybe if it's hot, and particularly if he's molting, which is now, if I'm just like sat on the couch, he will shove his head underneath my feet so aggressively and like make me rub him with my feet. It's a bit bizarre. Does anyone else's rabbit do this? I mean, he's happy. Like, I'm literally just petting him, but I'm just petting him with my feet. And obviously he doesn't know that like feet are gross, or like I think feet are gross. So he's like, you're just petting me, what's the problem? But it's the way he aggressively shoves his head under me. I'm like, you're a tiny animal, but you're actually very strong. Anyway, very is an over-exaggeration. He's actually quite strong considering he's a tiny fucking ball of fur. Okay, are you happy now? Yes. All right, cool. So anyway, the thing with a cowl neck is that it's always gonna feel like, if I kind of compare it with my original one, it's always gonna feel like it's really high, because even as I was like holding this up to myself, it kind of sits about here, and I'm like, oh, that's really high. But obviously because it's a cowl neck, it falls, so I kind of need to do it high, but then like I need to remember to do it high because it will fall, and that's okay. So even if I kind of put this one up against my body, like this is the cowl neck, but obviously with the straps it falls. So maybe if I just do that real quick, actually. So this is kind of going out, and then this is where this bit would go. So yeah, it kind of sits without the kind of droopiness of the cowl. It sits actually very high up. Can you calm down, please, you fucking drama queen? But yeah, it sits really, really high up. So currently, if I kind of do the same thing, obviously adding a little bit of stretch, it currently sits about here. So I reckon, yeah, like I probably could fit in, or should fit in, like a few extra rows for like a little lacy strip. And I'm going to be doing it in this like greeny color, this greeny gold, because I think that would look really nice as like the accented part along the top. So I'm just figuring out what lace pattern I want to do, and whether I can kind of fit it into this gap, how it's going to look, all of that fun stuff. But I was just kind of like, already, you know, like, well, I've been working on this for like 3 evenings, and so I'm kind of like, it just feels really soon. I think it's looking real cute. I'm again really, really glad that I chose this stitch pattern. I think it looks really good. I feel like the texture is really nice. It has a good amount of stretch. It doesn't feel like particularly thick either. I think obviously the fact I'm using a fine yarn really helps with that, and the drape is beautiful. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. No notes, guys. I'm currently watching the Apothecary Diaries. I'm towards the end of season 1. I'm really enjoying it so far. My bestie has been trying to get me to watch this for fucking ages, like basically since I started watching anime. She's like, please, can you watch it? And then I watched everything else. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I love Mau Mau. She is unbelievably autistic coded. If you don't think she's autistic, then it's probably because you don't know how to spot a neurodivergent person. But yeah, she's autistic coded, ADHD coded. I love an autistic baddie. I think she's great. I think I'm gonna finish this episode, perchance watch a film, because my partner's away this evening. Well, not away, but he's hanging out with his friend this evening. So dinner for one. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I don't know what movie I want to watch, but I think I'm gonna watch the Apothecary Diaries for a little bit longer. I have some like animated movies that I kind of want to watch, and then I might watch, or I might watch one tomorrow actually. Anyway, whatever, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go carry on, maybe figure out a lace pattern, see wagwan. So I was just measuring my piece against my top, and somehow I have made it considerably smaller. I don't really know how I've done this. So obviously I'm going to be blocking it, so I'm accounting for like a little bit of extra room, but like that's like a considerable amount, and although I know it's gonna stretch when it blocks, like that's just too much, you know. And like especially this part here, which makes the kind of cowl neck area, I obviously need that to be loose, so it kind of creates that, like, you know, that kind of like drape in the middle bit, and that's not gonna happen because obviously it's not wide enough. So what I'm thinking is to basically use this for my back panel instead. This is kind of annoying because I obviously wanted to work on the front panel first and then go from the back panel, but I think turning this into the back panel will work. My only other option is to obviously frog it all and then start again, and I don't really want to do that. So I think this will work a lot better as my back panel, and it will fit a lot better, and yes, hopefully this will work. It has been ages since I have checked in, ages since I've crocheted. Obviously, a few of it's probably been like 2 seconds. We had a really horrible heat wave. Just fucking awful. It got to like 32, 33 degrees, and I think if you're in England as well and you know how hot that is, you know that that's a heat wave. I feel like people outside of England, 32, 33 is probably not really like a big deal. Here it fucking sucks, and I kind of have to use one of these like pillows to prop my elbows up when I'm crocheting, because otherwise it just hurts my forearms and it hurts like my shoulders, and like, yeah, it's just not good for me. So I was like, I physically cannot crochet, and also the thought of like holding yarn and having like a piece of a garment on my lap was just not going to happen. So I was working on my front panel. No, sorry, what the hell, I am so sorry, I don't even know if I filled you in on what the hell I've been doing. So we obviously had I was working on my front panel, and then I realized I made it too small, so I turned this into the back panel, and I basically created like a scoop neck, or a scoop back, shall I say. So this is the back panel, right? And basically what I want with the back panel is to have a kind of, not a super low, but like a low-ish back to it, and this is what I've done. Obviously I will add kind of straps to attach it to like my shoulders and blah blah blah, and then what I'm planning on doing is adding like a lace panel to kind of go like behind it. So like the lace panel will go behind, but it will kind of show about here, and it's going to be, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, maybe like a lacy square or a lacy hexagon or something along those lines to kind of put in this little gap to obviously add a little bit of fun, a little bit of pizzazz, but also I think it will do a good job of kind of making sure that the strappy part won't slip off my back and like across the back of my shoulders, because I think that will really piss me off. So back panel is done, and then obviously we had a heat wave. I started this maybe like 2 days ago, and I started on the front panel again, but obviously made it wider, so you can kind of see size comparison. This one is quite a bit smaller. So yeah, made it wider, started doing my decreases for my armhole shaping, and then I basically started doing like, just kind of stopped decreasing so I could do like my cowl neck, and then I kind of reached the length that I wanted, and so I started adding the green to do this like fun little kind of trellis lacy pattern, which I think looks really cute. But my only issue is that I think, because I'm kind of holding it up and like letting it fall as like a cowl neck would, where it kind of like droops in the front, but I think that I have not made this part, like this kind of lilac part, long enough, and B, I think I've made it too narrow, so I think I've just decreased a little bit too much. So what I think I'm going to do is just frog the greeny gold. I'm going to frog the lilac, and then, because what I think is happening, because this is kind of what, when I got to this point before I realized that this was too small, I obviously did this lace bit as well, and what I think is happening is that when I'm doing this kind of lacy trellis part of it, it's cinching in and tightening it a little bit. So what I think I'll do when I kind of get to this point again is that I will make the chains in between the lace a little bit bigger, so it's got a little bit more slack to it, and hopefully that, because you can kind of see, unless I'm pulling it, it's like, it's quite like tight, but then if I pull it, which obviously I am going to block it as well, so that will make a big difference, but it's only kind of when I pull it from the top that you can kind of see the lace pattern forming. So when I just hold it normally, it's like not really existent. That's my POA, that's my update, that's what I'm going to be doing. In terms of time, I have like basically a month. Let me actually check. I have over a month to get this done. I think like a month and a bit, like month and 2 weeks, so I'm confident that I'm gonna get it done on time. Also, I'm wearing my little asymmetrical t-shirt that if you saw in one of my recent vlogs, I finished crocheting recently. I think it's really cute, very fun and wearable. I'm just wearing it with some like black linen like trousers from Lucy and Yak. I think this is really cute. It's really nice as well in the summer. Obviously it's still hot today. I actually do wear the things that I crochet, and you probably know that if you've watched any of my other videos, any of my other vlogs. I love wearing the stuff I crochet. Anyway, I have a documentary called Helvetica, which is which one of my work friends recommended to me. It's literally a documentary about the font Helvetica, and I thought that was so fun, so cool. So I was like, you know what, maybe, I mean, I've got it, I'll watch it at some point. My partner is actually dog sitting for one of his friends, so if this vlog gets extra yappy, that's why. It's just me and you, brother. It's just me and you. I'm gonna actually shut the fuck up, put the movie on, do what I said I was gonna do. Okay, I finished my documentary. This is where I've gotten with my top. So obviously frogged the green and then frogged only a few rows of my decreases, and then I'm just working on, like, I've done all of these rows basically. So I think it's going a lot better. Like, kind of when I hold it up here, you can see it's kind of like having that droop that's kind of in the front for a cowl neck. So I think it's definitely going better. I 100% think that the green yarn and the stitch that I was doing, or maybe just like the way that I did the stitch, was like tightening it up, which wasn't giving it that like that drop. It's going good. I'm going to continue. I'm probably going to stop and have some dinner in a little bit. But that was a really fun documentary. It's cool. It's literally just called Helvetica, and it's all about like typography and Helvetica, the font specifically. And it was so interesting because I personally love watching and hearing nerdy people talk about the thing that they love and the thing that they are like extremely knowledgeable in. I was thinking of maybe watching The Buccaneers, which is a show that I've never watched before. I haven't even really heard that many people talk about it, but it's kind of like a period drama, you know, lots of like, it's kind of like modern drama sort of thing. Kind of looks like it's giving me Bridgerton vibes, but like in a different way. So yes, I am tempted to start watching that. I started listening to the audiobook of the first Hunger Games book, and I found a version of it on YouTube, which I'll link in the description in case you want to watch it or listen to it. And started listening to it, and I really liked the way that she writes the book. I really liked the way that the voice actor does like the reading of it and does the characters and the expressions and stuff like that. I thought it was really fun. So I've listened to book 1 and 2, and I'm like, I think halfway through book 3, and then I've also found a version of what's the next book in the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So I found that, and I've also found the newest one, Sunrise on the Reaping. But I'm really enjoying the books at the moment. I've watched the movies. I watched the movies actually, I think last year, in preparation for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because I had never watched the movies prior. So I was like, I'm kind of intrigued by this movie. Yeah, I watched the movies, and like, they were good, they're good, and I think they're very good and accurate portrayals of the books. But like, there's something about the way that she writes which I feel like is really impressive, and like, there's obviously like parts in the book that aren't in the movie and stuff. So I'm finding it very interesting. I'm trying to like get back into reading and listening to audiobooks a little bit, so I could listen to my book. Anyway, good talk guys, good talk. This is where I've got up to. I'm gonna carry on. I think it's going real good. Okay, so I have been working on the like lacy part of the top. I've done this, and I'm really not sure how I feel about it. It's basically like a little wavy pattern, which I like, but then I did these like ties. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, this could look cute if it was at like the bottom of a skirt or something like that, but I think because obviously it's the top, I don't know why it's looking weird. I'm like, part of me thinks it's cool, but part of me is like really unsure. I don't think I like it, but I'm also not 100% sure. I think this like wavy kind of pattern is really cute, but yeah, I'm not sure about this tie thing. I think I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a break. I think I need a bit of distance from it. I think I mentioned that I had a dark purple yarn that I was gonna also incorporate. I've used this a bunch of times already, one on my like lacy heart top and one on my Daisy for You vest, and I really like it, but I just think I like the green and the purple together without this dark purple. I feel like these tones kind of look a lot nicer, and bringing in like a darker color just kind of sets it off balance ever so slightly. I think it could look cool, but where I'm obviously working with scraps and not equal amounts of each of the colors, I don't want to tip the balance sort of thing. Yeah, I don't like these. Looking at it more, I'm like, I don't like it. I like the kind of meshy like wave stitch that I've got going on, so I think I'm just gonna frog that last row. I don't like the ties. I'm gonna take the ties off. I'll probably have a little break and then frog this a bit later, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I frogged it's a new day obviously. I frogged the weird border that I did and then just redid it, and I did this kind of like lacy sort of situation with a little fan almost and some picot on there. I think this looks a lot better. I was gonna do like a couple more rows, but I think just this amount is actually really nice. Like, it's a good accent to the actual piece. This yarn is also the same yarn I'm wearing. You know what I can do actually is I can figure out what kind of like lacy insert I'm gonna do for the back here, because I don't know if I want to do like a lacy square, which I think could look really cute, or if I want to do like, you know, like a lace pattern sort of thing. That's my update. It's going well. Okay, so I started off making one of these squares, but I fear it may have one. This square has one, okay, because I'm doing this round where I have to do 3 stitches together and do a chain in between, and I'm meant to have 20 of these like kind of little petals. I have 13, and I was like, okay, clearly I've gone wrong somewhere. I went all the way back to round 1, this center round. I have the right number of stitches. Round 2, the right number of stitches. Round 3, I have the right number of stitches from round 2. I'm like, how are you getting 20 and I'm getting 13 of these little kind of like petals? I don't know where the fuck I'm going wrong. I've reread it maybe about 5 times. I've counted my stitches diligently, so I think I'm just gonna have to give up. Either it's incorrect or like I'm just not getting it, and I'm like, I can't be bothered. So I'm gonna frock it, and then I have another version of like a fun little kind of motif that I think I actually will probably prefer, so I'm gonna give that one a go. But it's a shame because it was looking real cute. Had this kind of like center with these like almost like little petals, and then there was kind of like a mesh situation, and then it kind of had these like rounded like 4 corners, which looked quite cute. But like, I'm not being beaten by square, guys. I refuse. And I don't really care enough. There's so many other cuter ones that like I don't have to stress over, so why bother? I will be giving another version of this a go, and then I will check back in. Hello. So yesterday I crocheted this. This is a really pretty, I don't fucking know, circle. What shape is this? Floral sort of situation. This is what I kind of want to go in the back panel, like in that gap. I much prefer this one to this one. This is nice, and I do like the kind of like flower motif. It's just so big, firstly, which is a positive because obviously that gap in the back panel is quite big, but it's almost like too big. And then also I would have to redo it because where these kind of like chain spaces in between, they're just a bit too loose, so I would probably end up redoing it, and it was just so many rounds and I don't like it enough. Like comparing the two, I'm like, I definitely prefer this one, so there's like actually no point me trying to redo this one, because even if it was these kind of chains here in this space, if they were a little bit more tight, a little bit more structured, I still would prefer this one. So it would kind of sit like this, or maybe like a little bit lower depending on like how the panel sits. I think that's so cute. I think that looks so fun. I'll probably just sew it on. Like I don't think I'll try and like crochet it on, but where I'll be kind of blocking it and securing it a little bit more securely, it will kind of sit a lot nicer, and then it will keep these parts of the panel up. I kind of need to join the front and the back panels and then obviously start the skirt, but I'm really just debating whether to block it first. I really don't know what to watch at the moment. So I started watching The Buccaneers yesterday. I don't think I like it. I'm 2 episodes in and I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm sorry if you like it. I mean, it's fine, it's not bad, it's just very cringy. So yes, I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to yap about. I think I'm gonna join my things, I'm gonna try and connect it, do my straps, and then maybe I'll listen to my book. I'm gonna figure out what the fuck to do, and then I'll keep you posted. Hello friends, so update. I'm just gonna let you assume that the fan is on. If you can hear the fan is on, and I'm sorry about it, but it's so hot. We're going through another heat wave again. I haven't been crocheting much in the past like couple of days. I've just been doing like tiny bits here and there. I have connected my back and my front panel. It looks really good, and then I basically did like a trim around the edge. So we have the front like lacy trim, which I think looks really nice, and then I've done a trim like under the arm, and then on the other side, and then on the back as well. So just to kind of like tie it all together. I think this looks really nice, and I really love the color combination. And basically what I'm doing with the straps is that I've just done a I've just done a chain, and then I slip stitched into it, and then I'm just doing it like so I can tie it up in the back. Now I'm gonna block it. I'm really loving it so far, and in terms of time as well, I'm fine. I have more than enough time. I think today is, because I'm doing this like relatively far in advance. Today is the 13th of July. Over a month. Oh, I've got loads of time. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So it's actually quite lucky that I have started this when I started it, because obviously where we've had these heat waves, I've not been crocheting as much, or at least I've not been crocheting like as regularly as I do, and then in the days that I am crocheting, I'm not crocheting as much in that day, because obviously it's so hot. So my progress on this is considerably slower, but it's fine because I have plenty of time. I'm gonna block it, and then I will come back with you in an update in a couple of days, I guess. Okay, so I've just done a little try on just to kind of see how the skirt is looking, because I finished one skein of yarn, and one skein of yarn has really like not gotten me far at all. So I just wanted to kind of like assess how it's fitting. In terms of the fit, like I think I can definitely frog what I've done so far and then redo it with less stitches, because this is looking like very ruffly and I don't want it to look ruffly. I just want it to look like flowy, and I feel like there is a difference. What I'm also thinking as well is that where it's currently sitting is that this kind of like green stitch pattern that I did here, I can actually extend that a little bit and do it for a few extra rows, because I think where I will add the skirt, it kind of gets a little bit like lost in here sort of thing. So I think if I just add like a few more rows of this stitch pattern and then start the skirt like a little bit later and then do less increases. I was hoping for the cowl neck to be a little bit like, you know, droopier, but I don't hate this. I think this is actually also very cute. I quite like the kind of scoop thing that it's doing currently. And maybe if I like stretch it out, because obviously I did block it, but maybe if I stretch it out a little bit more, it'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, I'm liking it anyway, regardless of if the cowl neck cowls a little bit more, you know? But yeah, that's my POA. I am going to start again. I know, I don't want to hear it. I'm starting again. Okay, so when I tried it on yesterday, I think I was just like, I think I was trying to convince myself that this was the fit and this was the cut that I wanted. Obviously I frogged the skirt part because I knew that the skirt part was too ruffly, it was too much. I knew for sure that like that wasn't what I wanted. Upon further reflection, realised that the cowl neck is not cowl necking enough for me. And I think it's purely because I didn't make it big enough, because obviously you need the piece to be really like a lot bigger so it kind of does that droopy thing. Do you know what I mean? So if it's wider and it's being stretched across my body, this is the droop that I'm getting. But if I'm making it bigger, I mean, yeah, making it bigger, then this is the droop that I'm getting, which is what I want, and ultimately what I wanted from the start. So I was kind of talking about it to my partner yesterday, and I was like, about to kind of redo the skirt part and start this part again, and I was like, if I want to restart it, now is the time to do it, because I have enough time and I'm not too far gone, you know, in the actual piece. I've essentially just made the top part, but now I know what I'm doing. I know that I need to make the panels bigger. I know how I want, you know, I know what lace pattern I want for the trim. I know how I want like the bottom of the skirt bit with this extra lace pattern. I know what stitch I'm doing, you know. I think a lot of the time, and the reason why kind of things took me relatively long at the beginning is because I was just faffing around, you know. I was like, I had plenty of time, I was, you know, looking at different stitch patterns, I was trying different stitch patterns, I was trying different, I've tried like, you know, the large amount of increases for the skirt. Like I was trying out a lot of things, whereas now I'm like, I know what I want, and now I can like execute a little bit easier. I also, like I said, I have just under a month to do it, and I think I will be fine, because the top didn't take me long at all. I've got like a fair bit of like downtime coming up. I'm going to be going on like a long train journey to visit one of my friends, so let me actually just consult my diary. Yeah, I honestly think I'll be okay. I might be like cutting it close, like not like how I was when I was doing the Megan Thee Stallion co-ord that I did, but like as in like crocheting the day before. I think I might be like, you know, a few days or a week or so cutting it fine, but I think it will be okay. I think I'll be able to get it done. I think I know what I'm doing now, and it's funny because if you watch that vlog, which is enjoyable, because it's fucking chaotic in a good way, in a fun way, not in a stressful way. I'll link it in the description if in case you want to watch it. But when I was crocheting that outfit, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have like a clear vision in mind. I didn't know what kind of stitches I wanted to do, what kind of fit I wanted, blah blah blah. So I was kind of like, let's just crochet and see what happens. And then when it went wrong, I'd like pivoted and then pivoted and pivoted. I didn't really have like a set plan in mind, whereas with this one I'm like, I do, and I know how to rectify it, I know how to fix it. my thoughts and my feelings. That's what I'm gonna do, and we're starting again, guys. I also don't think that the straps are solid enough for me, and I also don't think I made them long enough. So that's another thing that I'm like, okay, we can fix this. I can maybe do like a thermal strap or like a Tunisian crochet strap, and that will maybe like make things a little bit stronger. I obviously didn't weave any ends in because why would I? So I'm fine. In terms of frogging this, I'm absolutely fine. So yes, that's the POA. That's what we're gonna do. Everything is fine. Nobody panic. That's more to myself than anyone else. Okay, my first movie of the day check-in. This is how far we are at. Not super far, because this is a single crochet stitch. I also realized that obviously like pre-blocking and after blocking is like very different. Like post blocking, there's like no texture. Well, there is texture, but like compared to pre-blocking, I actually prefer how it looks pre-blocking, if I'm being so real. I still do like it post-blocking, but I think you can kind of see the like texture of the stitches a lot better before it's been blocked. But yeah, it's going well. Obviously it's like quite a bit bigger, but obviously I need it to be quite a bit bigger so I can give the little droopy cow neck, you know. So yeah, single crochet stitch, wide ass panel. It's gonna take me a while, guys, but I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. I have plenty of opportunities to crochet this dress. Also, what I realized is that when I do eventually get around to frogging this, is that I can just use the back panel. No, I can just use the front panel as my back panel, because the front panel is not as wide as this panel, but it's wider than the back panel on here. Because do you remember I made it too small at the beginning, and I was like, I'll just turn this panel into my back panel. I think that's obviously what's kind of shrunk it down a little bit. So if I use the front panel from this as my back panel from this, then I don't have to do like an entire new panel. I will have to like frog it up to a certain point though, probably like just under where I started doing the decreases, but that's fine. And then I'll just do like my scooped back that I did, and then that will become my back panel. So that's like one less thing to worry about. Put it all together, do the straps, do the skirt, and I'm fine. See, everything's fine. So I am not at home, as I'm sure you can probably tell from the background. Please. I think I mentioned this, but I have come to the north of England to visit my bestie, and we had like a work thing. So I stayed at my bestie's, and then I just was like, I might as well stay for a few extra days before my other bestie comes and we all hang out together. So I'm in like a cute little hotel, which is nice. I had like a really long 4 or 5 hour train journey to crochet, and I want to show you my progress. So I obviously frogged the other piece, and I only frogged the back panel, which was considerably smaller, and then I kept the front panel, but I just frogged like a fair bit of it, and then I will use that as my front panel, which I think I've mentioned. So I did a fair bit. I think I only started this like, I'd started like doing my decreases basically before I left. So I managed to do all of this part like from here to here on the train. That's how long this train journey was. So yeah, it's looking considerably better. When I kind of like hold it up here, you get this like nice drape. I'm definitely not finished with the front panel. I want to make it taller, and what I did was I basically used my cow print cow neck top to use that as like a measurement, as a guide. And I realized one of the issues that I was having with the other one, not only because I made it smaller, was I just wasn't making it tall enough. And when I measured this, the whole thing
thing is like, I think it was like 16 or 17 inches, which looking at it, I'm like, that's super long. Like, unless I had that measurement, I never would look at this and be like, yeah, I need to keep going until I've got 16 inches. So yeah, I'm glad that I am just using that one as like a base now. It's gonna make my life a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, here is how it's looking so far. Pretty much the exact same as the other one, it's just considerably bigger. So it's going well. I'm gonna do some crocheting this evening because I'm staying in the hotel another night, and I'm gonna watch some TV, maybe listen to my audiobook. Haven't quite decided. So the audiobook I'm listening to is Ask for Angela or Andrea. I think it's Angela in the UK, but it's Andrea in the US, which is where the book is based, so I keep getting them mixed up. But yeah, I'm listening to that audiobook, and then I want to listen to the Practical Magic audiobook because I didn't know it was a fucking book. Practical Magic is one of my all-time favorite films, and I didn't realize that it was based off a book. So I found the audiobook, and I'm probably gonna give that a listen. And I have been reading the Walking Dead comics. So if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the Walking Dead. I've watched, like, the TV show, I've watched it probably about 4 or 5 times in its entirety, like since season 11 aired, which was only a few years ago. So yeah, I've watched it a lot and I love the show. Obsessed, obsessed, obsessed. I love it so much. And I obviously know it's based off of comic books, and I know that there's like quite a few differences between the comic books and the show. And I dug my Kindle out of the depths of my office drawer and then rebooted it and then got all of the comic books, and I've been reading them. They're really short, so each issue is like, takes me like 20 minutes to read, probably even less, some of them, but they're really good so far. It's quite interesting seeing like the differences in the show versus the books, and like different characters, and like the order in which things are like being done as well is quite interesting, because I always wonder like, how do they make the decision to change it, especially when they're obviously using the comic books as like the source material. But yeah, I've been really enjoying reading those. I've been reading them like whilst I'm eating lunch and stuff, because they're just quick, so I can read like a whole issue whilst I'm eating my lunch and my dinner. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on this some more whilst in bed. There is this like table here, but these are the chairs, and if you're plus size, that you know that these chairs are fucking uncomfortable, because I've been working today, so I've been working from the hotel, and I've literally just been working from the bed. Yeah, I'm gonna probably make myself some dinner, work on this, watch some TV, listen to my audiobook, probably do it like kind of into the evening, into the night, and then I'm gonna go hang out with my friends for the weekend. I was also editing some of this vlog earlier. It currently is sitting at like an hour, and I'm like, I haven't even got all of the footage off my camera. Like, so I'm sorry in advance if this is gonna be like a fucking 2-hour vlog, but I mean, I basically started making something and then I'm like restarting it, and the part that I've edited, I've not even said that I'm going to restart it. So, and it's an hour. So yeah, my bad in advance. I know a lot of people said that they prefer longer vlogs, so if you're one of them, you're probably gonna love this. If you're not, sorry. I'm gonna go sit in bed, work on this some more, and I will keep you posted. Very big update. So I obviously have restarted, and then I started on my skirt. I tried, I think, 2 different stitch patterns. The stitch pattern I was originally going to do, which was actually one of my like first stitch options from like
way back when I started doing this piece. It was really nice, but it was a combination of single crochets and double crochets, and because of the fact it was with both stitches, it kind of shortened the stitch. And I think I mentioned it, but I started doing it, I made it too ruffly at the time, but I was basically doing that stitch, but it's just too short. So I knew I would either run out of yarn or it would take me far too long. So I changed it to another one, and I didn't like how that looked. And then I was like, let me actually just use my motherfucking brain, and I just did some samples of a couple of different stitches that I liked the look of. One was a really cute like diamond looking stitch which looked cute, but just like wasn't really what I was going for. And then the other one was obviously this stitch. So this is the stitch that I have started doing for the skirt, and I think it's looking really, really nice. I got quite a bit done. I had a dentist appointment, so I had to get like a couple of trains. So yeah, I got a decent amount done on the skirt. And then I got to the end of the skein of yarn, so I was like, I was getting a bit bored of doing the stitch, so I was like, let me move over to doing the straps and stuff for the top. So I was doing the straps. I did like all of the border for like the kind of like back and the armhole, and then I was like, let me just like practice how long I need to make the straps. So I did like just a chain just to kind of connect it so I could try it on. And then I realized that basically the decreases that I'd done for the top bit for the cowl neck, I had done like the top bit too long essentially, and so the decrease was basically like, it was just tit. That's why I couldn't show you, because it was just where it sat, it was just like, it just essentially scooped out my boob, or like half of my boob. So I was like, I obviously don't want that, and the fit was just not fitting. So I was like, okay, freaking out a little bit, but not like badly. Luckily, obviously the top of the top was where I finished, so I was like, I don't have to like disconnect the skirt and undo all of this work I've done. I just basically frogged the top of it. So I'm redoing the top basically, long story short, and this is kind of where I'm at. I just kind of did a trial just to make sure that A, it's working, and B, like the fit is fine, and like how far I'm basically from the top. So I essentially am gonna have this part of the stitch kind of sat at my waist, so I've still got like a little way to go, and I basically just did a test. So I kind of just like hoiked it up and was like, hypothetically, obviously if I had reached the correct length and this became the cowl neck, then yes, it does the cowl neck be cowl necking. Do you get what I mean? Like this is the kind of the drape that I wanted. Obviously I'm nowhere near finishing. Well, I am near finishing, but like, you know, I've still got like a bit of way to go. Thankfully I'm on the right path. I have, I think, like 2 weeks until All Points East. I need to get a wriggle on basically. I think I will be fine. I think I will be able to get the dress done, but I am definitely cutting it fine. I think now that like everything is actually okay, and I know what I'm doing, it will be okay. But obviously I've just had a few setbacks, you know, and I think I've just been overcomplicating it. Like I overcomplicated the cowl neck. I obviously made it too small to begin with. I was like practicing the stitch patterns like actually on the skirt, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Just do like a sample, you know. So I think I just need to like take a fucking breath, calm down, and just like do it, you know. Also as well, I've realized with the back bit, because of how I've kind of positioned the scoop and the decreases, I think I want to just I just want to like do the scoop a little bit more, because the straps are gonna sit like, this is the end of it, the straps are gonna sit like really far over on my back. So I think I might kind of just start the scoop neck or the scoop back a little bit more to the center, and then the straps will kind of sit a little bit more basically like kind of where these bra straps sort of things sit. So I think I'm going to redo that as well. Hopefully that won't take me too much work. My only potential problem is that obviously I have joined both the front and the back panel like at the seam, so I might have to like undo the seam. Luckily this one's at the top, but this one, oh my god, this one's at the top as well. Okay, so yeah, I could undo the seams in case I need to kind of frog past that point. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Other than that, everything is actually fine. I think like, it's so annoying because every time I'm crocheting something like for an event, like this happened when I did the Megan Thee Stallion co-ord, and every time that I have like a deadline, I basically just like get really frazzled, and like it's fine, like I will be actually okay, but I just basically get like a little bit frazzled, and like I don't really think properly. I'm like making really silly decisions. I don't double check things, and like, yeah, I don't know why. I think I think I'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. Now I've kind of like clocked myself. But you know, you're just like, what am I doing? That's basically what's been happening. So yes, other than that, it's going fine. Probably I'm gonna like decrease the amount of like check-ins that I'm doing, just because like I need to actually crack on. Update, because I haven't provided an update in a while. I am also wearing my first version of this dress with the same yarn. I mean, it's not a different version, but like it's the same yarn, so it kind of looks the same. Feels a bit crazy to be crocheting this whilst also wearing this dress. But yes, I did try it on just now. So this dress is currently inside out because I just put it on inside out because I tried this on. Anyway, I've been working on the skirt area. The stitch pattern is looking really nice and airy and fun, and I split off to do my kind of like front splits. I have now gotten to this point where I've done this like really fun like trellis kind of lace stitch, which looks really cute, and in terms of length it's kind of the perfect length. There is a lace stitch pattern I really want to try, so I think I'm going to do like a sample swatch of the lace stitch, and then if I like it I'll just do like maybe 2 or 3 rows along the bottom, and then I can be done with that part, and then I'll just finish it off. Finish off the front part of the skirt. I do really want to obviously deal with the top half of it because I'm not, like I said, I'm not enjoying this lacy part. I don't like, have I even mentioned it? I can't remember if I have, but I basically don't like how this is looking, because at the moment, like, can you see it's like folding over? I don't like that, and so part of me was like, all right, I will make another kind of strap to go across to kind of like hold it in place, but it's just looking a bit much. Like, I don't like having all of these like straps going across my back. So I am going to obviously at some point, once I've done my skirt, I'm going to get rid of this bit. I'm going to obviously like take off the trim, and then I am going to make my back panel a little bit lower, and I'm also thinking about like redoing the top half in some way. I'm not 100% sure what my POA is just yet, but like I'm just not feeling it, you know, like it's fine. I feel like I wanted the dress to be like a little bit lighter and a little bit looser, and not looser but like lacier. I'm kind of thinking of what I can do. I think I can kind of figure something out, and like in terms of time I've got like over a week, so I think I'll actually be okay. But yeah, it's not ideal, obviously. Like, I would have much preferred to be done by now, but like it's a whole fucking dress, you know, and I'm doing a lot of techniques and a lot of things that like I've never done before as well, so I'm trying to like, you know, give myself a little bit of a break in that sense, but I'm not like, you know, putting too much pressure on myself. But yeah, I'm just not really feeling the back of it. I'm not really feeling the like, I love the stitch pattern, but I'm just like, I just want it to be a bit lighter maybe. Oh, also I got my hair cut, in case I didn't address that. But yeah, I got it cut really short. I literally got it cut yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if I like it. I mean, I'm still a little bit unsure because, you know, it's very different because it's so much shorter, and then because I've got like a bit of a wave in my hair as well, it's just sitting very differently, and like I look very different, you know. So I'm like just acclimatizing myself to it. I think it looks good, like I think I suit it, but yesterday I was like, I don't fucking know. I just need to adjust. I just need to kind of let my brain adjust. Also, my nails are back. So I did my nails because I obviously wanted them to be fun and cool for all pointsies, and also like I just really miss having my nails. So I did like I don't know if you can kind of see it, but like I did like a holographic kind of cat eye with this like chrome accent. It looks really fun. And then my thumbs, I really love this thumb. I feel like it catches the light so nicely with like the cat eye. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna practice this lace pattern, see if it looks good. If it looks good, I'll add it to the skirt, finish the skirt, finish the top. It's going good. We're gonna get it done. Hi friends, so an update. The skirt is officially finished. it looks real good. It looks really, really cute. I basically finished it off with this like kind of like lacy fan stitch, which gives like a nice kind of ripple like wave at the bottom, and then I added the greeny gold, just a couple of rows of single crochet around the edges, and I think it looks really, really nice. You will notice there is no longer any top because I frogged it all, okay? I was just like, I put it on my body, I wasn't comfortable with the fit. I don't think I like the stitch pattern, but it just wasn't, there's something about it I'm just not really feeling. So I frogged the whole top basically. I've only got like one, which was annoying because I obviously attached this stitch to the top, so I still have like one row of the stitch pattern left, but like that's fine. So basically what I'm thinking is that because I wasn't happy with the fit, and obviously I want the skirt to be like a little bit looser just so it sits nicely over like my stomach area, which is like the largest part of my body when I'm wearing a dress, I was thinking of basically doing like a row of elastic around the waist just so it kind of cinches in a little bit, just so it has a bit more shape, and then I don't have to do any decreases and stuff, because if I do decreases it probably won't be able to go over my boobs, and obviously I want to be able to actually put the dress on. So yeah, I'm thinking doing a row of elastic just to kind of cinch in, doing a lacy stitch and basically working in the round instead, doing a lacy stitch until it kind of gets to like my bust area, because what I was noticing as well is that obviously with the cowl neck, like I was making the panel so wide so I could give it a cowl neck, but every cowl neck that I've seen like has like a tie in the back to obviously cinch it in like at the waist or like past the bust, but I wasn't doing that, so it was just kind of sitting really big and really wide. But obviously I needed to be big and wide for the cowl neck, but then when it hit my waist I was like, it's too big and it just looks silly, or at least I feel like it looks silly. So yes, that's my POA, that's my plan. I'm personally like not worried. Today is Saturday, so I have like an entire week to crochet the top half, and I'm very confident that I'll get it done. I was just practicing a couple of like lace pattern stitches, lace patterns that I liked the look of. I don't really like any of the ones that I practiced, so I think I'm gonna do the kind of like fan lacy stitch that I did here. I'm gonna do that like at the top. I know obviously I frogged it for like the third time, but like I really don't mind frogging. Like I feel like lots of people get a bit stressed when you have to frog, but like I really don't care. Obviously it's like a bit of a shame because it's like quite a lot of work that I've done that I'm essentially pulling apart, but I'm an advocate for frogging. Like I would much rather frog now than have something that I hate, or have something that I have to try and fix, and like I've got to do this, I've got to like do some hack or do some trick or like try folding it, you know. I'm just like, just fix it in the moment. I'm not that bothered. So yeah, I'm gonna do all the things that I said I was gonna do. I think it will be absolutely fine, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be really cute, really fun, and I'm really pleased now. Like I feel like a lot more confident in it, because like I just wasn't vibing with the top half. So yeah, I feel a lot more confident. I feel like it looks good. I feel like it looks cool. And honestly, I really like this stitch, so I might do this stitch for like the top half as well, because it's really nice and airy. There's like a couple of chain spaces in the stitch as well. So yeah, I'll decide when I get there. But that's my update. Okay, we have an update. I'm really pleased. I have made the best decision. So Did I show you? Can't fucking remember. Anyway, I added some elastic to the skirt. It sits a lot nicer. It sits basically like where my shorts are, perfectly on my waist. It's a really good length. It's obviously very short, like the back of it is very, very short, like kind of just covers my butt cheeks. That is the aim, that's the goal. This is a slutty dress, remember. And then I started doing this really nice like lacy stitch. It's kind of like almost like a lacy kind of fan shell sort of stitch. Really, really cute. I love it. I basically like worked in the round, and then I've split off to do my front bits for the cow neck. Let me just show you. Where the hell is the other? Oh, it's here. So I've split off to do my top part. Obviously it's not long enough, so you can see that the drape is just so much better. Like, I'm really glad that I chose like a lacier kind of meshier stitch, because the drape is just draping like the way that I actually wanted it to. But yeah, even kind of as I hold it here, you can see that the cowl neck is cowl necking. Obviously I need to make it like considerably taller. It's really, really good. I've made the back part really short so I can have like a nice low back, which is obviously what I wanted. But yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really glad that I decided to change it, although it's kind of like low-key crazy. I'm glad I made the decision. Like I said, I don't think frogging is a bad thing. I would much rather have frogged it and frogged the work that I'd already done than to have a dress that I was not 100% confident in and wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I've made the right decision in my mind. I obviously got quite a bit done yesterday. I'm hoping, ideally, I have like a whole day of crocheting today. I really would love to get the front bit done, like the kind of cowl neck bit done today, and then I can faff around with straps and stuff tomorrow, have it blocking. So for timeline wise, today is Sunday. I would love to get the top done, do the straps and stuff tomorrow, which is Monday. I can do that after work, and then also after work, if I finish the straps, then get it blocking. I don't think it really needs a proper block, but I would like to just kind of like lengthen out the skirt just the tiniest bit, just so it has a bit more flow. And then yeah, just to kind of loosen everything up, loosen up the fibers, and also to give it a wash as well. And then have that on the blocking mat by Monday. It will probably be dry by about Wednesday, Thursday, and then I can weave in the ends, then it's done, you know. And all point cease is on Saturday, so I have like 6 days, which I am more than confident I'll be able to get it done. I won't be like, thankfully, it won't be like crocheting like the day before. Thank God, I'm not gonna be in that position again. But yeah, I'm confident I will finish this at least in the next couple of days, ideally like the timeline that I've just said. Also as well, so all point cease has like several dates, and lots of people went to one on the weekend just gone. I think like Friday. I think there was one yesterday as well, but people were saying that like Victoria Park's really dusty at the moment, so I was like, oh great, I'm wearing like a light coloured dress, so I think it'll be fine. Like, I was planning on being like, oh, maybe I'll wear like my Crocs, but I think I'm just gonna wear trainers, because like it's gonna be dusty, it's gonna be kind of a bit gross. I'll probably bring like my mask and stuff, and like I get really, I'm obviously asthmatic. I don't know if that was obvious. I feel like I've mentioned the fact I'm asthmatic. I'm asthmatic and I get really bad hay fever, so I need to make sure I bring all of my drugs and my supplies so I don't die. But yeah, also with the dress, right, so I was obviously, I think I mentioned, but I was going to do like the lace part for just like under the bust, and then when it hit the bust I was going to do like more of a solid stitch. But I don't really want to do that. I think it will look fine like being braless underneath, because I'm going to be wearing boob tape. This is like a kind of flesh coloured boob tape. Not my flesh, but somebody's flesh. Not far off, but yeah, definitely not my flesh shade. Obviously I'll be wearing this underneath it, and kind of underneath, like I actually think it'll be fine. Like, I don't think it's going to be too crazy obvious that I'm wearing this boob tape underneath, and I don't think it'll be like tits, you know, through the lace. I'm gonna go crack on. I'm gonna go watch some TV. I've started watching Only Murders in the Building, or whatever it is. Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's right. And I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really fun. I love a good murder mystery, and yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drink my breakfast smoothie and we're gonna fucking crochet. finished it. I finished it! I finished it kind of like late last night. It was like literally midnight, but I was kind of like really deep into it, and I only really had like the straps left, and I was kind of like, you know what, I just want to, I don't want to get it done as in like get it over and done with, but I just really want to finish it. I was like, you know, when you're just fully in the zone, I was in the fucking zone. Okay, so yeah, I finished it. I added my straps. The cowl neck is cowling. I did a really cute trim on the edge of it. I was gonna do like something a little bit more fancy for the trim, like on the cowl neck, but I was kind of like, the way the cowl neck, you know, drapes, you won't really be able to see it, and I think the lace pattern kind of like speaks for itself. I added these like Tunisian crochet straps, which I think look really, really cute, and basically because of the way that the straps or the stitch formed, I just kind of like rolled it in my fingers, and it's created like a kind of nice like tubular strap, if that makes sense. And I haven't had to like sew it under or anything like that. I literally just kind of like rolled it, and it's worked. Also as well, so because obviously the whole dress is just on these straps, I wanted to kind of take a little bit of like the strain of the weight off of them, and so I basically just added 2 more little straps to the back part and then connected to the strap. But I think I will adjust that ever so slightly and just make it so that this goes to the back to the front again, so it's not kind of like attached halfway through the strap, it's attached to the front, which will hopefully help with like, you know, the weight of it. But the whole dress is looking really, really good. I'm so pleased with how it's turned out. The only thing left is obviously to just adjust that strap, which won't take me long at all, and then once it's finished drying and blocked and I've woven in all the ends, I'm gonna add like the little kind of almost like shoelace fastening in like the splits of the skirt. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased. I'm so glad that I made the decision to frog the top part and redo it, because it just wasn't sitting right. I wasn't getting the sizing right, and like I am, like I said, I'm an advocate for frogging. I will much prefer frogging a project or part of a project or even the entire thing to make something that I am actually going to wear, that fits me better, that is more what I wanted, rather than kind of just settling, you know. Like, I'm not really a settler in any aspect of my life, okay? And if it wastes a little bit of time in the process, I don't really care. For me, it's just like a learning curve. I've learned all of these things in the process, which I think are completely invaluable, and I'd much rather have learned those things through the process of trial and error and doing it myself, because that's how I learn personally. Like, I know some people obviously learn better with like instructions and stuff, but I learn by doing, and this is like the best way for me to learn. So I'm really, really pleased. I'm so glad I made the decision to kind of start the top part fresh. I have, in terms of time, today is Monday, the festival is on Saturday, so I've finished with like what, 5 days to go, 6 days, how many days? I'm really, really glad that I, you know, stuck with my idea and stuck with and trusted my gut, you know. I think part of me was like, oh no, like it's fine, I can make it work. But like, yeah, trust your gut, man, because it's fucking paid off. Ready to go. So I wove in all of my ends, and it didn't actually take me that long. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer to weave in all the ends, and then I added this cute little like bow tie kind of situation on the little splits, which I think looks really, really cute. And I've done my makeup and my hair. I'm wearing like a really cute little bindi and some jewelry, and yeah, I'm ready to go. But yeah, thanks so much for hanging out with me while I crocheted this dress for All Points East. I will try and add some like bonus footage at the festival. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and leave me a comment to let me know what you think, and of course subscribe to my channel if you enjoy all things crochet.